Hi folks, today we're going to take a look at the Nikon Z7 II and the Nikon Z8, and we're just looking at autofocus capabilities. I know you probably know the difference between the two, other than size and the time that's gone into the technology development, but a lot of people seem interested just in autofocus, so that's what we're going to do today with Model Elia. Let's hit it. Now, there are some situations where the Z8 noticeably focuses better. I would say it's a lot to do with having 3D focusing. To be able to use that point, it's much more accurate than the central point you can select to track on the Z7 II, especially in areas that are really challenging in terms of light. Like I was just shooting, having a big ball of light in one corner of the frame. The Z7 kept wanting to jump off what I was asking it to focus on, but the Z8 had no problem in that case. I gotta say, a lot of it comes down to coverage points, and that's a pretty extreme example really, having such a bright light in the foreground and a darker area you're trying to focus on in the background. I don't think that's gonna impact most people's shooting style. If you're in the Nikon Z system, check out my expert setup guide. The link is below. It's been updated to include the Nikon Z8. It also covers the Z9, and every other model in the system shows you how to initially set it up and customize it to get the most out of it for your style of shooting. Now, one thing I have to acknowledge about the Z7, if it doesn't have your subject in focus and it's like way on the background, it can struggle to find them sometimes. If you pull it so that it's close, it'll get it, but sometimes it does it, sometimes it just kind of stays lost in the background. That's cute. Hold this angle. So if you see those shots, the old Z7 II, despite having one of these flickering in between, quite close to the lens, giving this red plume in the foreground, it was staying with her eye just fine. When the face gets really obstructed, or it's a really challenging lighting situation, or you're shooting subjects other than people, then I can really see that there's a big gap on the Z7 II. But, and I don't want to be too mean about it, I really think people who are going on and on and on about the Z7 II being unusable need to learn how to focus, because it does pretty damn well. Of course, if you compare it to the latest and greatest, it's going to suffer though. So you see this little triangle of light here?
Yeah.
That's what I want to get some interesting things. So if you're laying back in there, let me just show you how it looks. Now I have to have myself out. It creates kind of a cool look, like we meant it. So this is what I'm thinking. And that light is coming from up here that's being reflected off the building. So let's see, keep the camera on her. If I open this curtain, is that gonna get even harder? Yes, we'll give that a shot and see if I like that or if it's too much. All right, folks, if you haven't already, check out the link below. You can download sample files from the Z7 II and the Z8. We've been shooting most of the day with the 85-1.2 and the 50-1.2. Ellie has been great to shoot with. Please do also throw her a like and a follow over at Instagram. Now, looking at these two, shooting them side by side, it was pretty clear. You know, it's not like they're so close that I couldn't tell, but I don't think it's nearly the difference that some people make it out to be. There will be some situations and some styles of shooting where you're going to find a huge difference, but for these kind of, you know, portraits where we have some movement, some walking, some, you know, that kind of thing, they're both absolutely usable. And I could be, you know, I feel like I'm in a weird catch-22 of, on one hand, I started shooting before there really was autofocus. So, of course, having seen all of the developments, I'm so comfortable with the Z7 II. It's what I tend to shoot a lot of my courses over the last couple of years, even though I own Z9s. We use those for videos and I use this for stills. And it absolutely gets the job done. On the other hand, I'm a camera reviewer, so yes, if you're comparing it to the latest and greatest from any of the brands, it's not quite up there, but I wouldn't say that in any way it's unusable. If you want it to be that much snappier, that much faster, to have more responsive modes and 3D tracking, then the Z8 is definitely and clearly ahead of the Z7 II, but it isn't like this is state of the art and this is unusable. It's just not like that. This is a good step and a half ahead, but with practice and with a bit of knowledge and know-how, you can absolutely get the job done with the Z7 II. Please do check out my Nikon Z setup guide, check out Elia's links below, and we'll see you soon.